So guys, if you clicked on this video, just know your luck is really good because you're about to get information that could change your entire life or someone else's. Now, let's get to the point. Friends, what if I told you that you only have two options? Either spend the whole day just sitting and using your phone, or the second option, spend the whole day reading that boring book that puts you to sleep. So which option would you choose? The clear option is obvious. Alright, let me give you those two options one more time. First option is you spend the whole day at home playing games with your friends. And the second option is you spend the whole day alone, exercising or doing some physical work. So, which option would you choose? The platinum edge is, of course, the first option. But friends, why does this happen? Why do we keep choosing the options that are easy or give us instant pleasure, instead of the ones that might cause pain or discomfort? Basically, the things our mind labels as boring, but are actually beneficial. You can keep anything that you never get bored doing, or that gives you a high. For example, playing games, watching movies, eating junk food, masturbation, porn addiction, surfing the internet, watching videos on YouTube, using your phone, or any kind of addiction like smoking cigarettes, tobacco, gutka, bidi, alcohol. You can put all these under the category of pimple activities. We all know these things are harmful and dangerous for us, but still, knowingly or unknowingly, we keep doing them, and these actions affect our life deeply. We tend to ignore things like reading books, exercising, running, improving our communication skills, learning something new every day, or doing anything that could improve our lives. Our minds just don't see these things as interesting or enjoyable. Because of this, we unknowingly end up harming ourselves in a big way, and it takes us a long time to realize it. By then, all we're left with is smoking cigarettes. So today, we're going to talk about this, and I'll explain the science behind it. I'll explain why we do all this, and, most importantly, what the practical solution is, something you can actually do to totally transform your life. After that, even the stuff that feels boring will become interesting, and you'll be able to take full control of your life. So, how does that happen? Let's take it step by step. First, tell me one thing. Why do you do whatever you do in your life, whether it's boring or fun? Maybe you like playing games, watching movies, or checking out funny videos on YouTube. You might like reading or exercising, but not really enjoy both. So what is it that separates these two kinds of activities? Let me explain, friends. That special thing is called dopamine. Yes, friends, dopamine is a hormone that works like a neurotransmitter in our brain. Whenever we do something we like, something that feels good to our mind, dopamine is released in our brain. Now, how much dopamine is released depends on the activity we're doing. There are two types of activities, friends. There are mainly two types of activities: hard-to-come-by activities and low-commitment activities. Low-commitment activities are those things we like doing repeatedly, like playing video games, watching movies, eating junk food, masturbation, and if you use substances, things like bidis, cigarettes, tobacco, gutka, alcohol, all these trigger a high level of dopamine. Doing these activities floods your mind with dopamine, making you feel really good for a while. And it all happens because dopamine is the happiness hormone and motivation behind it. Hormones are also involved. To get motivated to do anything, you need motivation, and that motivation comes from dopamine. That's what makes you want to do something. For example, if you want to play a game or watch funny videos on YouTube, your mind already has an image of it, which is like a high-level programming activity replay. Because of this, your brain releases dopamine to make you do these things, and you enjoy doing them with interest. But if it's the same phone, If someone snatches the phone from your hand and then holds your hand tightly, your mind's dopamine level will drop, your thumb will stop moving, and you'll lose all motivation to do anything, and you'll start feeling sleepy. And friends, that's nothing. You've probably experienced how your dominance level is with the person you love, how your happiness shoots through the roof, and when you're apart from them, how much pain you have to endure. All of that happens just because of hormonal imbalance. By now, friends, it should be clear to you how important dopamine is for our life activities. So, how much does it actually affect us? Now, coming to the main point, which is the most dangerous side of dopamine. Friends, imagine if we spend the whole day doing dopamine-boosting activities like smoking cigarettes, chewing gutka, drinking alcohol, or playing games all day long. Anything works. If you're doing something that releases a high level of dopamine in your brain, over time, your mind starts to expect that same level of happiness. Meaning, if you want to feel happy, your brain wants that same high dose of dopamine. So basically, if you're always chasing dopamine, if you do activities that raise your level, your dopamine receptors can get worn out. And if you want to feel that high again, you first need to get that same high level of dopamine released in your mind. That's why people who drink alcohol gradually lose their capacity. At first, just a little party gets them that high. But over time, their dopamine receptors die off, and then they need more and more to feel the same effect. The same thing happens with other activities too. The craving gradually builds up, and before you know it, you get hooked on that thing forever. For some people, this addiction lasts a lifetime, and even if they want to, they just can't change. And friends, there's an even bigger side effect. Because your dopamine receptors get reduced by 1.5 times, your mind starts avoiding things that are actually important for you, like exercising or reading books. These things start to feel even more boring than boring. Basically, the more you get into bad habits, the more good habits keep slipping away from you. That's why when a person gets addicted, if someone tries to quit, they end up struggling with mental depression and stress. And even if they want to, they just can't change their life. It feels like they've gone too far, and their life starts going down the drain. So friends, if this problem has gotten so bad, there must be a solution too. Yes, friends, there is a solution, and it's actually a very easy one. But for that, the most important thing is that you have to genuinely want to improve your life. To change your habits. Once your habits change, your life will change right after that. All right, friends, if dopamine receptors get messed up, you need to do a dopamine detox or what's called a dopamine fast to help them recover. It's kind of like the fasting we do at home, just a simple process. You only need to fast for 1 day in the whole world. Now you choose which day you want to do it. On the day you're doing the dopamine fast or detox, you shouldn't do certain things like no internet, no mobile phone, no junk food, no movies, no TV, no power, no masturbation, no alcohol, no notebooks. Dude, these are the kind of things that release a ton of dopamine in your brain. And since we're talking about a dopamine fast, you gotta avoid them. Now, let's talk about what you can do. Like, you're allowed to work, you're allowed to run, you can do a lot of exercise, you love to read, you love to write something down on paper, maybe half a page. You can do all that stuff on that day. What will happen is, guys, your dopamine receptors will start waking up, and slowly, you'll begin to feel less of that low-level dopamine craving. When you're hungry, you'll start craving these activities too. Even food you normally don't like will start tasting good. And about the detox process I told you about with your friends' lunchboxes, the first time you try it, you might feel bloated or just not feel great. This happens because your receptors need time to recover and your hormones need to rebalance. But it's only temporary. If you want to make everything in your life more interesting and enjoyable, just hang in there. If you want to feel happy through natural resources, you've got to do this. There's no question about it. Friends, whether we realize it or not, we've handed over control of our lives to someone else. It could be different marketing companies, games, or maybe an addiction to some product. Now's the time to take back control from all that and put it back in your own hands. It's not hard at all. You can totally do it. After all, you're the one who gave away control, and you're also the one who can take it back. So, with full confidence, go ahead and change your life. Promise yourself that one day you'll definitely make a documentary and completely change your life to protect yourself from these bad addictions. Then you won't even need happiness because you'll become the source of your own happiness. The world will be searching for happiness, but you'll be the hero of your own story.